Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Rafi Rafiq, and we have been having this session since 2:30 p.m. So this is our second panel discussion, and we have just resumed after a break. In our first panel, we were discussing hospitality and sustainable destination, which are very much deeply connected, and they play a huge role when it comes to the environment, when it comes to supporting the local community, when it comes to the economic growth. And now we are about to discuss the beyond borders. We call it beyond borders. It's about building partnerships for shared growth. And for that, I would like to invite our moderator for this panel, Ms. Adeeba Khalid Jadoon. She's a co-founder of Sustainable Destination Forum. She is a tourism development expert, and her prime focus is on building platforms, experiences, and brands that advance tourism and hospitality. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to welcome her with a huge round of applause. All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. And with that, we'll be inviting our panelists as well. Our first panelist is Mr. Sardar Yasir Ilyas Khan. He's a national coordinator and advisor on tourism to Prime Minister, Government of Pakistan. He's also a group CEO at the Centaurus, Islamabad. Thank you so much for joining us. And that was so quiet. Why? Please welcome him with a huge round of applause. All right. With that, I would like to invite the Managing Director of PTDC and a President at Sustainable Tourism Foundation, Pakistan, Mr. Rana Aftabur Rahman. With him, I would like to invite the Director for Regional Departmental Asia and the Pacific, UN Tourism, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harry Hong. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'd be inviting the High Commissioner of Malaysia. He is an accomplished diplomat with a distinguished career in Malaysia's Foreign Services. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency Dato Muhammad Azhar Mazlan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next person joining us is a key figure in Pakistan's sustainable tourism landscape. So let's join hands and please welcome Brigadier Retired Irfan Akhtar, the Secretary of Green Tourism. And last but not the least, the CEO of Pakistan Britain Business Council. He has played a significant role to strengthen the bilateral trade, investment, and tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Rashidi Iqbal. And now I'll request Ms. Adeeba to please take over from here.
First of all, thank you everyone. It's an illustrious panel. We are going to be talking about partnerships, cross-border collaborations. And when we talk about tourism, tourism cannot happen in isolation. Tourism needs collaborations, needs partnerships. And we are not going to talk about or discuss it in a manner that is just theory. We are really going to focus on how our destination, Pakistan, can benefit from cross-border collaboration. And since we have representation from Malaysia as well, so we want to see how Pakistan and Malaysia, to begin with, can have strong collaborations. First of all, I want to have a national context to it. And for that, I would refer to Mr. Yasir Ilyas Khan. So let me begin at that national level. What do you think that Pakistan, is it ready for partnerships and collaborations? What is the state of readiness when it comes to collaborations?
Thank you so much. It's a wonderful question. I think Pakistan has been ready for many years. We were discussing this earlier today. If you look at the context of tourism back in the 60s and 70s, Many of my friends are here that can elaborate on this, from Rana Aftab Saab, Ahmad Shafiq Saab, people that had lived through the 60s, 70s and saw a very prosperous Pakistan, a developing Pakistan, a liberal Pakistan. And Pakistan was known to host many individuals from many parts of the world as a flexible destination for tourism, and flexible on all accounts, in terms of religion, in terms of personal practice, personal preference. I mean, when we're talking about a liberal society, people would be able to go to clubs in Karachi, as I recall. People would be able to have alcohol in these clubs. People were able to dance. And then all of a sudden, we were considered as a society which is slightly more extreme, which I personally disagree with. If you look at Pakistan's contrast today in terms of coexistence, we are coexisting as a nation with multiple different parts of society practicing different religions freely and with great pride. We have the largest number of churches, largest number of gurdwaras, Buddhist sites, temples, and mosques, and we never discriminate. So this is what we can sell to the rest of the world, that you can come to Pakistan because we're a global nation, a global race, open to the rest of the world, and open in many ways. Like I said, a liberal society that today follows the rest of the world, practices what the other worlds are doing, whether it's to do with music, art, culture. We have the same things that you used to see in the 60s. What's happened is the gap in between these 30, 40 years has made us fall back in terms of the competition. The world is ahead of us because the last 34 years, they've been doing much more than us. But now we're catching up. All we have to do is re-establish that connectivity with our brothers from other parts of the world. So regional connectivity is first and foremost. And today is a great example where you see many airlines re-establishing connectivity with Pakistan from Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Ethiopian Air is here. Tajikistan is going to be opening up the airline. Turkish airline is already there. Riyadh Air is coming to Pakistan. There's many more. And at the same time, we're establishing local routes through local airlines on international platforms. So I think Pakistan is more than ready. We just have to put more effort and expedite this process so that we can catch up with our competition globally.
That's really positive to learn that we are gaining that momentum. From a global perspective, Mr. Harry, I want to learn, where does Pakistan currently stand against the international benchmarks? How do you see that?
Thank you. First of all, I'm super happy to be here with you this afternoon again. And I think that this session clearly show how the tourism sector in Pakistan take this tourism as important in national level. And I'm super happy to be right next to the Honorable Sadat Khan, because I have known that is coordinator and advisor on tourism to the Prime Minister. And your role here is such an important, and the UN Tourism has been working with the Pakistan Tourism Development Corporation's Managing Director, Mr. Lana, that he has been our focal point of UN tourism. And I am super happy that I'm here with you, telling that what UN tourism is meant for our members in Asia in general, but particularly to Pakistan, because I think that you'll be happy that my first mission to overseas of this year is here. That I see such an attachment or responsibility that I need to speak up the importance how UN tourism particularly could work with Pakistan and our friends. And I'm happy that we have a High Commissioner from Malaysia. Malaysia is such a success story of tourism sector. So if you allow me that we want to share what UN Tourism has been done for our members, particularly to Pakistan, and also that how our friends from the industry and education center can work together. That, if I may, that there's 4 distinctive area that we are doing it. Number one, that I know that one friend told me that you guys are always quote what UN Tourism use for the statistic and data. That is absolutely important for our right and efficient policy setting. And also we are strengthening the sustainability for the community development, which is absolutely important. And also sustainability as the shared responsibility that is important. And then I'm happy to tell you next year will be the International Year for Sustainable and Responsible Year for 2027. This is another absolutely important for us to underline the importance of tourism. And then UN Tourism want to encourage our members, friends in Pakistan, to establish the National Committee on International Year for Sustainable and Responsible Tourism to work how the tourism means to everyone, the provincial government, central government, and industry. And so that is something that we are working on it. And then, of course, we have capacity building and regional cooperation. That is equally important that we mentioned the partnership. So having said that, what it meant for the Pakistan, and I know that the Honorable Sadat, that you mentioned that Pakistan is where the beauty greet and history speaks and adventure lead. Absolutely, Pakistan has tremendous natural beauty and culture and heritage diversity and such great potential. But here, the question is how this potential translates into desirable performance. I think that is something that we all need to speak out. And that is something that we from UN Tourism want to work on it. And maybe if you allow that very quickly, what we can do from UN Tourism and our colleagues from outside to support and give some, the knowledge sharing with Pakistan. Number one, I'm sorry, once again, I need to underline, Honorable Sardar, we need proper Ministry of Tourism in the Pakistan. I mean, well, I don't have to detail, but I think that is something that we at UN Tourism has been underlined, and then again, the need of establishing proper federal government in charge of tourism. Even though Pakistan PTDC has been done a great job, but I think that this is something that you have to work. And then I know one good example, I think the best example from Asian country is that from Japan. And I'm sure you heard that the Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, under that, in the year of 2008, they established what is called Japan Tourism Agency, exclusively dealing with the tourism. And under that, there is a JNTO, National Tourism Board, Japan National Tourism Board. So that is 3 different sectors supporting the tourism in Japan. And then Japan is now known for the tourism-oriented country. And can you imagine, in the year of 2005, the in-country number has been around 6 million in 2005. And then after 10 years, establishing JTA, Japan Tourism Agency, they had about 19 million. And the last year, Japan enjoyed 42 million visitors from Japan. So I think this is something our friend in Pakistan have to take the structure seriously. And secondly, that we want to work with Pakistan to work coordinated federal level. The tourism framework can serve as a powerful the enabler for the Pakistan to translate into the immense potential into sustainable international comprehensive competitiveness. And then we want Pakistan to be the policy alignment for the global framework that we are talking about sustainability. And sustainability is not like separate agenda. It is a mandatory, and it is part of the competitiveness. And every sector have to work on this sustainability, and we cannot disregard the importance of climate resilience and inclusive development as well. And then we do want to work with Pakistan for capacity building and human capture. And we see the need to focus on not just planning of human resources development, but it's the power of implementation, the objective. And then finally, I think this is something I see very important, the positioning the Pakistan for the connectivity. And we have seen such a professional, the airline, the industry, the leader, but I see the Pakistan can be encouraged for cross-border tourism corridor. What I want to say, to position Pakistan as a regional bridge destination. I think that is something that Pakistan can work on it together with our friend from Malaysia and from outside, and absolutely that the UN Tourism is committed to work with Pakistan. Thank you.
So UN Tourism, by wearing hat of Gilgit-Baltistan region, has already initiated that collaboration and partnership. Now, if I move towards green tourism, you see product is very important. Without a product, you cannot enter into any kind of partnerships. So I'm talking from the perspective of infrastructure development. And green tourism is largely developing destinations by operating hotels in different regions. And by opening a hotel in a new destination, you're also developing a destination. So how do you make sure that you are also looking the international standards, because your product is to be consumed by international travelers as well? So how are you making sure that...
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thank you very much for the Sustainable Tourism Forum and Pakistan Travel Mart for arranging such a August forum during these crisis situations. Coming over to the question of green tourism, Pakistan, and its development as far as hotel destination or resorts is concerned. To start with the vision of green tourism, I would like to just say the theme of the today's panel and the discussion. The traveling, starting from the day one, this Mother Earth, we have a small little global village now. Whether it was Alexander the Great, whether it was Ibn Battuta, whether it was Columbus, whether it was Vasco da Gama. So these were the borderless movements where there was only the connection of destinations. It was only the 1648 that Westphalia Treaty made the countries, and then in early 90s, we have this passport. Before that, I think the concept was, it was a dream to connect nations which were living on this planet Earth, one. Secondly, to learn from each other experiences. And thirdly, to connect people to people. So coming over to the green tourism, as far as green tourism is concerned, we believe in complete reappraisal and review of ecosystem that is involved in tourism industry of Pakistan. We want to make it a country which has all the destinations, keeping in view the diversity of our geography and the diversity we have. I think only few countries in the world have this kind of landscape, this kind of diversity, where the faith tourism there, where the adventure tourism there, and there is every school of thought can come and explore as per his own desires and wishes. As far as destinations are concerned, our main goal is that we should provide such destinations, such hotels and resorts as part of one segment of our vision, so that people come to know that this is the 4-star, 5-star, or whatever is the standard the World International Forum has created, one. Secondly, the Pakistan hotel standards and all the travel agent laws, whatever we have. So we are trying to focus as a wholesome and addressing the tourism in Pakistan, not only one destination. So this is our, and lastly, I would like to make a mention that every adversity has an opportunity. And this recent situation in the Middle East, it has created a great opportunity from this adversity for Pakistan, where I think we are a nation which is more safe. We are a country where I think we have less issues of security and other issues, which so far the perception has been created after, especially after 9/11. The two great wars, Afghan war and war of terrorism, it has got nothing to do with the state of terrorism or insecurity in Pakistan. Actually, the yardstick which any travel agent or any travel agency seeks is that how safe a tourist is to travel from point A to point B in a particular city or intercity connection. So if I talk of few countries like France, maybe it is 35 in the criminal record. Maybe USA has more criminal record than us. But we as a nation has been labeled like maybe a country which is not safe. I personally feel that our graph or our standing, as far as peaceful nations are concerned, as far as hospitable nations are concerned, I think we stand much more at a better pedestal than all other nation states. That as a green tourism, we are part of this ecosystem and our sister organizations, and we all want that Pakistan should become a borderless state where people should, from all walks of life, from all faiths, and from all particular, they have their own thinking, they can plan a trip and choose Pakistan as a travel destination. And here, with the development of infrastructure, with the development of the resorts, the hotels, even a small play field, or for that matter, a agricultural spot, that can make a tourist destination as well. Lastly, I would like to make just one mention that it is not the only one category of tourism Pakistan is having. At least more than 30 tourism-related destinations Pakistan has. And it is not only the adventure, it is not only the plains, it's not only the deserts, it's not only the beaches. We have a youth bulge which is more than 60% of our population. And this youth bulge, if diverted into a skilled labor and into a hospitality industry, I think we will have a peaceful, prosper Pakistan, which will invite the tourists across the globe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So my next question is that after 18th Amendment, tourism has become a provincial subject. So now we have 5 provinces and all are having diverse product offerings. And this is a good thing to be having differentiated product, but when it comes to presenting Pakistan at a global stage as one unified destination, we see that lacking. So how are you going to ensure that in the next years, when we have to, in the coming years, how do we become better at representation and have a strong voice at global stage? This question is from Mr. Rana Aftab, and I would like to ask the same question from Mr. Yasser Ilyas as well, because both of you are bearing public office and have tourism portfolio. So start with Mr. Rana.
Thank you, Adeeba. First of all, I would like to inform about the dynamics of tourism. You see, tourism is a very complex and a dynamic industry in which to form the tourism product, you need to combine various different components together to prepare a product which is sellable in the market. And broadly, we can say that there are 5 A's of tourism: attractions, accessibility, accommodation, amenities, and activities. So that shows there are different elements and different institutions, stakeholders dealing with different aspects of the tourism product. So it is very, very important to have a kind of a very strong partnership among all the stakeholders, partner, to prepare something which is really presentable at the global level. So initially, when there was one ministry in Pakistan, we do had a Ministry of Tourism in Pakistan before 18th Amendment, and we were working together with the provincial governments, with the private sector, in a very coordinated framework manner. But after that, there was some sort of a thought, because it was not just for the tourism only, but that 18th Amendment was made in very different other fields as well. So I don't know how it came into the thoughts of the government that we need to dissolve tourism as a provincial subject. Although in that years, there was a tourism corporation in Sindh, a corporation in Punjab, in KPK. They were working independently to develop and promote tourism in their own regions. And side by side, federal government was also supporting tourism sector. So there was no harm at all, even in that framework. But rather, there was a stronger support of federal government available at that time. But that was a kind of, in my point of view, not a very good decision in that particular years when it was made. But now, once again, there's a new thought at the federal government level that we need to improve the coordination among the stakeholders. We need to create more partnership, not only between the public sector entities only, but also with the private sector. So that is the reason now federal government has now decided to realign the role of Pakistan Tourism Development Corporation, because in the present paradigm where there's an 18th Amendment already there, we are not in position to create a Ministry of Tourism. But at least there should be a national level organization which try to coordinate all the efforts to, bring all stakeholders together. Now, federal government has decided that PTDC will bridge that gap, and our PTDC has been declared as a kind of a national organization, which is a kind of a center of excellence for tourism. And we are coordinating with all the stakeholders in industry and building partnership with them. So, you need to develop partnership not at just one level, but you need to develop partnership at 5 different levels. You have to have partnerships at the international level, at the regional level, at national level, and then at the provincial level, and then the local level. Then you'll be able to combine the efforts of all the stakeholders to have a healthy growth in tourism sector. Now, in the new framework of PTDC, we are trying to work with our provincial partners, with the private sector partner, trade associations, and also the organizations like PTM and others, so that we have a stronger, combined effort to promote tourism in Pakistan as a one strong product. So that's what now is the new vision of Pakistan is. At the moment, we are working on a new tourism strategy, and government has declared that tourism strategy and policy, the National Tourism Coordination Policy, not just tourism policy, coordination policy. And coordination will be strengthened when we have a stronger partnership among all the stakeholders. For example, we are working with the UN Tourism at international level. We have now 25 MOUs with various regional organizations and countries around us to promote tourism. Then we are working with our 4 provinces, Gilgit-Baltistan, AJK. All 6 regions are combined. Rather, they are the part of the board of director of PTDC. And we are working with 3 private sector trade associations like PATO, TAB, and Pakistan Hotel Association as the trade bodies. Rather, they are now the representative on the National Tourism Coordination Board as well. So I personally believe by establishing these stronger partnership, we can ensure that the tourism growth in Pakistan is long-lasting and it is strengthened. And we need to do quite a lot more work on that. You know, unless we are able to bridge this gap, we will not be able to grow as the world is growing in tourism sector. As I mentioned in the morning speech, maybe at the moment we are making something 5.6% in the national GDP, but there's a potential available to take it up to the level of 10 to 11%, which is the normal average of many countries in the world and the normal average of the global contribution of tourism in the international GDP. So hopefully, as now we are moving forward, government is taking interest, into creating a strong framework where we could work collaboratively with private sector. And I'm sure by having this policy on ground implemented, we will have a stronger partnership which is built and the tourism sector is growing more rapidly.
So you have mentioned some of the associations. And my question is from you, Mr. Yasser, that most of these associations, do you think they need, because you're a businessman yourself and you run a 5-star or 6-star hotel chain, and private sector dynamics are quite different from how it works within the government sector. So the organizations that Mr. Rana mentioned, do you think those organizations or the institutions need some capacity building to really reach that kind of optimal level to translate those partnerships into reality? What would be your thought about that?
Look, absolutely. There's always room for improvement in every sector of society. But let me shed some light on the same question that you asked Rana Saab. I know a lot of you and a lot of people globally might have some reservations with regards to this being a devolved subject. But when government of Pakistan took this initiative, there was a logic. We didn't just invent an idea. We took an existing idea and implemented it locally. So let me give you an example of UAE. In the United Arab Emirates, there's a different law in Sharjah, there's different laws in Abu Dhabi, there's different laws in Dubai, and different laws in Ras Al Khaimah. And tourism still thrives across that whole country, but we know that tourism primarily revolves around Dubai. And there's different laws in each of the Emirates. The same thing in the United States. There's different laws in each state of the US. And in Pakistan, when the provinces were empowered with a budget, it made sense to give them their own segment of tourism. And that's why in the 18th Amendment, it decided that if they have their own budget, they should be spending that money on tourism as well, which is what they're doing now. Government of Punjab is primarily focusing on tourism, and they're spending a significant amount in the next 3 to 4 years, for which they've planned train, they're planning chairlifts, they're reviving new sites, they're working on a lot of projects. Collectively, 18 to 19 billion rupees is being spent by the government of Punjab. KP is doing something, Azad Kashmir, GB. So it made sense because the federal government, once given the budgets are allocated, cannot then intervene and say, you should spend this on that segment. This is their province's job. I think as a national policy, it's easier for us now from the Ministry of Interprovincial Coordination to have a joint meeting with all the provincial tourism departments and discuss a national plan and national policy and how we can all implement it. The decisions are still taken at the federal level with regards to visa policy, with regards to issuing of licenses, that's already there. It just makes things easier when we're talking about development and utilization of resources when the provinces are taking their own decisions. But to coordinate those efforts, we have a National Tourism Coordination Board, which is now being established. So all the provinces will be sitting on this board, taking decisions jointly with the federal government. As far as the institutions are concerned, I absolutely agree with you that we need to empower and at the same time focus on development at par with world-level organizations. And similarly, we have many tourism departments at this Pakistan Travel Mart with us. Azerbaijan is one of them. where it's not entirely a government body, it's a private sector body, but that's what PTDC is as well. PTDC was designed as a corporation and not a government entity. And we want to run it like a private entity like the rest of the world is doing, because the world is no longer functioning as a government. The world is working as a marketing company. And that's how they market themselves to the world, to the rest of the world that come and work with us, come and invest. And that's what Pakistan needs to do. Pakistan needs to work like a marketing company. And all of our institutions need to work together in collaboration by offering incentives of inbound tourism and also bringing FDI to Pakistan through collaboration and joint ventures. We don't want to say to the world, come and put your money here. We want to tell them, come and work with us. Come and invest with us. Come and grow with us. That is the plan.
Thank you. So I have one of the panelists from UK. He's representing Pak Britain Business Council. And if I delve deeper into the population, Pakistan has one of the strongest diaspora globally. Yet the potential remains underutilized. So my question from Mr. Rashid is, what would it take to convert diaspora interest into real investment and visitor flows?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Sorry, could you just repeat the last because I can't hear the speaker
Yes,
here?
my question is that why hasn't diaspora engagement translated into structured tourism partnerships when we have a huge global diaspora? That's my question.
First of all, just a very brief introduction. Rashid Iqbal, Chief Executive of the Pakistan Britain Business Council. Our role is very simple. This is to promote bilateral trade between the two countries. Now, your question is very, very valid because there is obviously a lot of challenge. There are lots of challenges in Pakistan, and there are lots of compliance issues in Pakistan, and there are many trade barriers. And so therefore, the diaspora living in UK, obviously we are not just targeting the diaspora. We want to target the diaspora, but not we want to be targeting the mainstream, because we need to be preaching to those who have not been converted. And so our role is very simple, that we need to obviously bring everybody together and provide a platform where the businesses can look at Pakistan as a gateway. The main problem is also that if you look at China, for instance, last 30 years ago, China was inward looking, but when China opened up to the world, that's when your economy, that's when China's economy beginning to emerge. And we are at that juncture where we believe that Pakistan needs to open up. There are still barriers to attracting more investment, foreign direct investment. So, and collectively, I think we need to work hand in glove. We remain apolitical, but obviously there are situations where no matter how hard we try, we take 2 steps forward, but uncertainties can drive us back. And these are the uncertainties, whether it's political, whether it's economical, whether it's, in terms of the trade barriers. These are the reasons. And also, as I mentioned, the compliance issues. And until and unless we have a quality of systems in place, you will not be able to drive more, you won't have the attraction in Pakistan for doing trade. And this is my only concern. And yes, given our role, we have many challenges. And from just to get your company registered is a big challenge. Just to get a visa for, although the Pakistan visa system is much better than most of the countries. But in order to drive trade, we need to be working hand in glove with the right government and the right partners, such as the TDAP, the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, and obviously the tourism board. And I also want to commend the PTM team for obviously organizing this wonderful gathering and the expo. And BBC is a staunch supporter. And if you recall the support that we are obviously offering in UK, because UK is also a gateway to the European countries, whereas English in Pakistan is a second language. So therefore, lot of Pakistanis who actually feel that they need to be in UK find it as a home country. So I think there are a lot of challenges, but we need to work collectively. And just one last thing, if I may, because unfortunately I have to leave to go to another meeting, and I will apologize and beg leave, but just one last point. I've said this time and again, we need to have right communication. We need to have coordination, commitment, and the big fat F follow-up. It's all very good having a discussion here today, but after today, everybody will go their ways, but we need to be a follow-up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The purpose of asking this question was to have your voice communicated to the relevant authorities in the panel. We have federal representation and national. Last but not least, Malaysia. Sir, Malaysia is doing so well in terms of tourism, and Pakistan has a lot to learn from Malaysia as a destination. It's very successful in tourism. So what is the experience of Malaysia in partnerships development, and how can Pakistan learn from Malaysia?
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator, Adeeba. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to Pakistan Tourism Mart and PTDC for inviting me to this fifth edition of PTM. On tourism industry in Malaysia, just to give you a highlight of what has happened between Malaysia and Pakistan in the past couple of years. In 2024, my Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim undertook his first official visit to Pakistan. And a year after, last year, in October 2025, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif visited Malaysia, where during this visit, both countries, Malaysia and Pakistan, signed an MOU on tourism cooperation. So basically, politically, we have already government-to-government cooperation arrangement where we can share our best practices with Pakistan. Basically, our tourism ministry in Malaysia is in close coordination with relevant agency here in Pakistan with regards to tourism industry and best practices. That's number one. Number two, why Malaysia has been having a success story on tourism sector. In the early 1980s, we decided to diversify our economy. Part of it was to develop our tourism industry. And how did we do it? It takes the whole of government approach. We spend billions of dollars in terms of building infrastructure, that's number one, and strategic communication. We cooperated with the giant of the media, for example, CNN, BBC, to promote Malaysia as tourism destination. And number three is our product. We created at that time, in the early 1980s, Malaysia is truly Asia. True enough, that tagline until now has been successful for us. You see the backdrop of Malaysia, we have three major races in Malaysia. One, indigenous Malay. Two, migrant Chinese from China, migrant Chinese from China mainland. and number 3 from South Asia, mainly from India, southern part of India. So that makes 3 major races in Malaysia, and that's why we call Malaysia is truly Asia. And for me personally, what is important for us was the capacity building. You see, you go to certain part of the world, you do not get international standard of treatment in terms of even simple thing, waitering service, how they put the utensil on the table, how they serve you, how they prepare, the meal. I think Mr. Yasir can vouch for that, having a 6-star hotel in Islamabad. You need to have consistency in that, and you need to train your people. And we have been coming here in and out of Pakistan. We have sent our trainers even up to Hunza, Gilgit, to train the people up there with regards to capacity building. How to serve simple, guests, how to greet them, how to say thank you and things like that. So for Malaysia last year, we registered about 42.2 million tourist arrival, generated about 75 million, or rather 75 billion US dollar in income. And this year, we have promoted Malaysia Visit Year 2026, and the target was 47 million tourist arrival this year, and we hope to get income of maybe 60 to 70 billion US dollar for this year. And fortunately or unfortunately, because of the regional conflict now, again, I commend the role played by PTM, by PTDC, to proceed with this event, regardless of what is going on regionally, in the Middle East. This is the thing that we need to portray, that normalcy, life is as usual. We have to conduct our business, daily affairs as usual. So I would like to invite my Pakistan brothers and sisters to come and visit Malaysia this year. We have lined up our program from January until December this year. And all 13 states in Malaysia, they are ready to receive tourists in Malaysia. And I just want to flag out one thing that Malaysians like for Pakistan. They like to travel to the north. Rather than going to Switzerland, better they come to Pakistan. You can find halal food. You can find the warmth of the people, your brothers and sisters. You can go to the mosque and pray. So last year, Malaysian was by far one of the largest tourist arrival in the northern part of Pakistan. About 25 to 30,000 Malaysians came to Pakistan for tourism purposes. And this can be expanded because we simply love to come and explore this country. And this is the thing where we can collaborate. And for example, we have a package. I'm just citing an example between Malaysia and Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan has this Imam Bukhari mausoleum in Bukhara. What we did, we created a product where Malaysian Muslim who wanted to perform Umrah, they went to Imam Bukhari mausoleum. After that, they go to Jeddah to perform Umrah, or they go to Mecca to perform Umrah. So I don't see no reason why we cannot have this kind of package with Pakistan. Maybe we can come here to Islamabad or to Lahore or to Karachi, visit some shrine here, and after that, we can proceed to Jeddah. From Islamabad to Jeddah, it takes only 3 hours by flight. So these are the things that we can collaborate, number one. Number two, capacity building. We are ready to impart our experience, our knowledge to our friends here, Pakistan, agencies, PTDC, any colleges, any university student who want to learn about tourism industry. They are most welcome to visit Pakistan. And number three, we need to utilize the number of diaspora that we have in Malaysia. Pakistani diaspora in Malaysia is officially about 100,000 Pakistani now working in Malaysia. And unofficially, maybe the number could be double. So these are the connection that we have between Malaysia and Pakistan. So these are the things that we need to leverage in terms of our tourism, shared responsibility, shared interest, in the end, for the benefit of our two countries and the region and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much. From today's panel session, if we can achieve how Pakistan can position itself to build stronger partnerships and that can actually benefit them, this platform would serve its purpose. And thank you so much for everyone for being proactive in this discussion. And we have come close to ending this panel topic. I would like to say thank you to everyone for their insights, for their thoughts, and for contributing in this discourse. Thank you so much.